The early 2012 European cold wave was a deadly cold wave that started on January 27, 2012 and brought snow and freezing temperatures to much of the European continent. There were 824+ deaths reported. Particularly low temperatures hit several Eastern and Northern European countries, reaching as low as -42.7 degrees Celsius in Finland. The heaviest snow was recorded in the Balkan region. The cold weather was a result of an extensive area of very high pressure located in over the northeast of the continent in northern Russia, which circulated cold air from the east. Countries affected. Effects: Eastern, Northern and Western Europe. The northern half of Europe was affected primarily by greater cold and, except for a period of early snow, low precipitation. The snowfall of the third week of January was up to 1 meter of snow in a few days, particularly affecting Slovakia and Bulgaria. On Sunday, January 22, heavy snowfall in northern Namestvo caused an ice rink to collapse under the weight of the snow. In Inari, Finland, temperatures of -42.7 degrees Celsius were recorded on February 6, the lowest temperatures in Europe. The village Kavilda in Sumava recorded temperatures of -38.1 degrees Celsius on February 3, the lowest temperatures in Central Europe. Ukraine was especially affected by the onset of cold weather. At the end of January, the temperatures fell below -30 degrees Celsius. At the time, the snow was at least 30 centimeters. On February 3, over 100 centimeters, and by the end of the first week of February, over 130 centimeters was recorded. The Ukrainian government announced that many of the public safety issues it was encountering were related to alcohol abuse in the context of the dangerously cold weather. The Baltic states also recorded temperatures down to -30 degrees Celsius. Moscow announced that, since the beginning of the last week of January, night temperatures ranged down to -25 degrees Celsius. The Mediterranean coast of southern France was covered in deep snow by the end of January. Corsica was buried under 40 centimeters of snow, and at times there were as many as 14,000 homes without electricity. In early February, heavy snow pile-ups hit the Helsinki region. Belgium also was surprised by the snowfall. At the same time, the snow reached the British Isles, causing interruptions at London Heathrow Airport, where up to 10 centimeters of snow impeded many scheduled flights. In Germany, the Elbe downstream of Magdeburg became impassable due to ice, as well as the entire Elbe-Havel Canal and parts of the Rhine-Main-Danube Canal. Supplies had to be sent to the island of Spiekeroog via aircraft from the second time in its history, as the ferry service was cancelled on February 7, 2012 due to heavy ice conditions in the North Sea. On Lake Constance, the catamaran speedboat traffic between Friedrichshafen and Konstanz had to be cancelled due to the icing over of the port in Konstanz on February 7 until further notice. This port hadn't been frozen to such an extent since the winter of 1962-1963. Mediterranean Sea, Danube and Balkans. Italy. The Balkans and the Danube were, in addition to cold weather, also affected by heavy snowfall. Frierangsopfer also reported the majority of countries of this area, as well as extensive traffic delays and economic consequences. The cold wave covered the Maghreb in the western Mediterranean, as well as the Aegean, the Turkey and the Levant in the eastern part of the Mediterranean area. Algeria. On Bologna fell 94 centimeters of snow between 1 and the 12th of February, with a maximum height on the ground of 65 centimeters. 190 centimeters fell on Cesena, with maximum height of 120 centimeters, and 326 centimeters fell on Urbino, where the snow accumulation on the ground reached 2 meters deep. Even Turkey, Spain and Portugal fell to low temperatures in early February, the temperature sometimes considerably below the freezing point. Snow fell in Majorca for the first time since 1956, and even in Algiers, Algeria, in southern Tunisia, in Gabes. In Italy, there were extensive power outages as well as traffic congestion, and the army had to intervene for snow removal. In Rome, where snow had fallen before the weekend of February 4 to 5, it was almost impossible to drive. Until the second week of February, rained throughout northern and central Italy. TF winterlish conditions, particularly in Marche, in Umbria, the Abruzzi and Emilia-Romagna. In Rome, after the snowfalls of February 11–12, 2,000 passengers had to spend the night in Fiumicino Airport. Europe, Bosnia and Herzegovina. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, this year's winter was one of the coldest and snowiest in the last 100 years. The snow depth in the capital Sarajevo reached 111 centimeters and in most are 86 centimeters. On the 5th of February, in Sarajevo, 5 people died because of cold weather in 3 hours. Snow and low temperatures stayed persistent until the month of March, when drought hit the country. In March, not even 1 liter of precipitation fell throughout the whole country. In Sarajevo, snow cover stayed until April. The cold wave killed anywhere from 15 to 50 people. Belarus. Early in the day on January 30, sub-zero temperatures spread rapidly. Data accessed by AccuWeather showed, according to Meteoinfo, on the night of 11 through February 12, temperatures in the Balkan region dropped to -34.3 degrees Celsius. According to national agency Bielta, from January 1, more than 180 people died in domestic fires. Total number of casualties remained unknown. Bulgaria. Over 1 meter of snow fell in the mountainous areas of the country. Heavy snow fell also in many major cities. The snow depth reached 63 centimeters in Vidan, 61 centimeters in Vratsa and 48 centimeters in the capital Sofia. Temperatures dropped under -20 degrees Celsius in many parts of Bulgaria, with a low reading of -30 degrees Celsius in Neza. The wall of the Ivanovo Dam in southern Haskovo province broke, flooding the village of Biza and killing 11 people, as well as inflicting serious infrastructural damage. At least 16 other deaths were reported throughout the country due to the Arctic temperatures. Croatia. As of February 6, 3 people died, with many villages being cut off, especially near Vigarac and Imotski. The region of Dalmatia was most affected, with strong bura interrupting the power supply and heavy snowfall blocking traffic even in some coastal towns. Split experienced a record snowfall of 25 centimeters. Cyprus. On February 29, snow was reported as falling in the capital, Nicosia. Denmark. On the morning of February 5, the lowest temperature in Denmark for 25 years was recorded in Odense with -23.1 degrees Celsius. France. On February 6, BBC News reported 4 deaths, and 43 regions in France on high alert for exceptional weather conditions. On February 11, the Six Nations Championship game between France and Ireland was postponed shortly before kick-off due to the pitch freezing, as temperatures plummeted beneath -10 degrees Celsius. Italy, Rome experienced a rare intense snowfall, and many of Venice's canals have frozen over, while very heavy snowfalls occurred in the Apennines. On February 6, the Italian rail network may face legal action due to many passengers being stranded on trains over the weekend. Temperatures plummeted to -21 degrees Celsius on February 7 in the north of the country. At least 54 people have died. Greece, many homeless people froze to death in a dam on the Evros River burst due to pressure. Temperatures also plummeted to -25 degrees Celsius in the northwest city of Florina, Latvia. The lowest temperature was recorded at the Strenci meteorological station, hitting -34.2 degrees Celsius on February 5. For several days not a single meteorological station reported a temperature above -20 degrees Celsius. Because of the severe cold wave, some regions in Latvia experienced a shortage of power supply, and increased number of domestic fires were reported. Malta, the lowest temperature at grass level was measured at Zebug. The temperature was that of -2.4 degrees Celsius. It was measured on Wednesday, February 8, and air temperature of 4.0 degrees Celsius was also measured during one of a series of hailstorms which occurred during the month. Netherlands. A cold wave was registered in the Netherlands, with a low of -18.9 degrees Celsius in Dubbelt, the lowest recorded since 1956, and a national low of -22.8 degrees Celsius in Lelystad, the lowest temperature recorded all over the Netherlands since 1985. A homeless man was frozen to death on February 2. People have been ice skating on the canals of Amsterdam, Poland. Early in the day on January 30, sub-zero cold spread widely over Belarus, Ukraine, Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia and eastern Poland. Data accessed by AccuWeather.com showed, for the January 1, 2012, 103 people froze to death. Fire and Rescue Service reported 360 domestic fires during one night, and almost 12,000 fire accidents this year. Reports state 107 people died in flames, with 550 more suffer various degrees of burns. Due to carbon monoxide poisoning, 24 people died. Romania. At least 86 people have died. In some areas, the bitter cold was followed by heavy snow. The snow depth in the capital Bucharest reached 60 centimeters. On February 11, the Danube was reportedly completely frozen over. Russia. European Russia experienced widespread sub-zero cold. The Ministry of Health and Social Development stated on February 13 that the cold had killed 215 people since January 1. Serbia. Sjenica set -32 degrees Celsius. Early on the morning of February 9. In Serbia, at least 50,000 villages have been trapped by heavy snow and blizzards in mountainous areas. Gas supplies are running low. On February 8, electricity consumption broke a record, standing at 162.67 million kilowatt-hours. So the government mandated a shutdown of all non-essential industries and decorative lighting. The death toll has risen to 20. Spain. Palma, Mallorca registered the most important snow episode since 1956. In Catalonia, heavy snowfall and winds of 175 km per hour were reported in Portbou, Turkey. On January 31, heavy snow blanketed Istanbul, covering the Blue Mosque. 102 flights were cancelled at Ataturk International Airport. Nearly 140,000 people made homeless by 2011 Van earthquake were reported as struggling to cope with temperatures of -4 degrees Celsius and over 30 centimeters of snow. Ukraine, more than 100 homeless people have died as temperatures dropped as low as -35 degrees Celsius. Gas supplies were running low. The cold led to more than 600 people being treated for frostbite and hypothermia within 3 days, according to officials. Nearly 24,000 people sought shelter during the same 3 days, the BBC reported. In western Ukraine, Rivne and Ivano-Frankivsk dipped to -28 degrees Celsius. Ukrainian health officials stated 151 people had died because of the cold, with alcohol regularly a contributing factor, the highest number in Europe. United Kingdom. The Met Office issued a severe weather warning as heavy snow fell across much of the country on February 4, disrupting roads and flights. Temperatures fell to -11.8 degrees Celsius in the early hours of February 8. More heavy snow fell overnight in England on February 9 to 10. On the night of February 10-11, the temperature in England fell to -15.6 degrees Celsius, the coldest temperatures since Boxing Day in 2010. Northern Ireland was the only place in the UK that was not badly affected by the cold wave. Africa. Algeria, the north of the country, awoke to a blanket of snow. 28 of 48 departments of the country have had snow, including Algiers and even parts of Sahara Desert. Snow-covered Algerian lower cities at least for several days. Meanwhile, higher cities like Sétif were covered by snow for weeks. Sétif registered up to 70 centimeters of snow. Some villages like Bouselem registered up to 2.5 meters, the average temperature at this particular time of year being 9 degrees Celsius. As February 9, more than 80 people died because of the cold wave. 30 of them were killed in car accidents caused by icy roads, and 14 from asphyxiation due to gas fumes. The following cities recorded snowfall. Tunisia. Snowfalls were recorded in Gabes, Libya on February 6. Snow fell in Gayan, Gadams and Al-Baida. Meanwhile, small hail blanketed Tripoli, where people confused it with snow, which is a very rare event. Asia. Armenia, Zavatnots and Sherek international airports are closed due to heavy snowfall. Azerbaijan. On February 8, temperatures in Baku dropped to -14 degrees Celsius, breaking a 42-year-old record. Heydar Aliyev International Airport in Baku also suffered serious problems and had to cancel some flights. Georgia. On February 7, Georgian press reported that the country was experiencing the coldest winter in nearly 50 years, with important water bodies, such as MTK variant Tbilisi Sea freezing over.